Shalom, and welcome to Bible Stories as Blueprints of the Soul, your Biblical Hebrew podcast. Shalom. Today I would like to read for you a new poem. The poem is based on a true story. In 1940, in occupied France, an American journalist called Varian Fry organized a list of 2,000 people trying to help them to escape the Nazi regime. On the list, or among the names that appeared in the list, were Heinrich Mann, the elder brother of Thomas Mann, who wrote Joseph and His Brothers, among others, Hannah Arendt, philosopher, Marc Chagall and his wife, Walter Benjamin, a most intimate friend of Koltuv Shalom, and many others. You can find their names on a list which appears on Wikipedia page. Varian worked from a city port in France called Marseille. Marseille is a city port along the Mediterranean coast of France. But since poems have their own way to speak, the poem came with the name of a city called Nice, which is also a Mediterranean city along the French coast. So, though the names are different, the intention is there. בעיר אחת שמה Nice. In one city named Nice. בעיר אחת שמה Nice. הרדוף אחד מניס. שלמי אדם ליעדם. מקראי קודש במועדם. אל הגבול ואל הגל. אל הדרך פורטוגל. את ולטר בנימין יעמוד לקץ ימין, ואיש אחד ושמו צבי, שאת הגאולה יביא. אל החופש ייוולדו, לשמך ודאי יודו. כך אמרה, סיפרה הרוח, בבקשה היום לסוח. שרה היא ומפארת, מתארת ומספרת על אותו אחד שלוח, שביקש מעט לנוח. This is the poem. Now I shall read the poem and speak about it in English. בעיר אחת שמה ניס. In one city called Nice. הרדוף אחד מניס. Harduf in Hebrew, but in English and in German, it's a name of a bush called Oleander. Oleander. So, Harduf echad, one oleander, smuggles shlamei adam liya'adam. The Hebrew says shlamei adam. This combination of shlamei adam does not exist. In the Bible, we find the term korban shlamim, korban shlamim. In English, we call it peace offering. But what is korban shlamim? Shlamim, sacrifice. Shlamim is coming from shalem, complete. In this sacrifice, also the person who sacrificed it is nourished by it. בעיר אחת שמה ניס, הרדוף אחד מניס. In one city called Nice, one oleander smuggles. In a way, the bush called oleander is the one that smuggles people. But the line says here, Shlamei Adam, Shlamei Adam, humans who are seeking peace. So the oleander, or one oleander, smuggles humans who are seeking peace to their destination. Shlamei Adam, humans, Adam, who are seeking peace. Shlamei Adam, Shalom, le Ya'adam, to their destination. Mikra'e Kodesh b'mo'adam. Usually when we hear the term in Hebrew, Mikra'e Kodesh, the reference is to the holidays. If we open the Bible, we shall find that Mikra'e Kodesh is holidays. But when we open the term Mikra'e Kodesh, Kodesh is holy. Mikra'e comes from the verb kara, to call and to invite. So what is Mikra'e Kodesh? Is when we call and invite the holiness to come. But in this case, we are not calling a certain day on the calendar, but those humans who are escaping from the Nazis, they are the holiness. They are Mikra'e Kodesh. They call the holiness to come, and for this reason they are escaping Europe. In their times, El Hagvul ve'el Hagal, to the border and to the wave. El Haderech Portugal, to the way Portugal, because the destination you can follow the story, or the plan was to move or to smuggle the border from France to Spain to Portugal, and then the Atlantic is open, whether to go to North America, South America, or to any other direction. So El Hagvul, towards or to the border, ve'el Hagal, and to the wave, El Haderech, for the way, Portugal. Et Walter Benjamin. Walter Benjamin was the closest friend of Gershom Scholem. He decided to stay in Europe. Scholem moved from Berlin in 1923 to Palestine, mandatory Palestine. And Walter chose to stay in Europe. He thought that Europe in those times held the highest standards of humanism. Things changed while the Germans invaded France in June 1940. Walter Benjamin saw himself running, escaping. Walter was in the list of Varian Fry, but on the way he was afraid that he would not make it, so he took an overdose of morphine. Scholem dedicated one of his books to Walter, saying this book is dedicated to Walter Benjamin on his way to freedom. Et Walter Benjamin יעמוד לקץ ימין. יעמוד לקץ ימין, this term comes from the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 13. Ketz is the end. Yamin is the right side or the days. Walter Benjamin was also on the list in the intention to flee Europe and arrive to America, but he chose his way. And in this line, I chose a verse that comes from the book of Daniel because it came together. Suddenly I saw the dedication of Gershom Sholem to Walter Benjamin. I saw in front of my eyes the verse from the book of Daniel, Ya'amod leketz yamin, he will stand to the end of days, which means when the days are ending, multiplicity, because days we have many, there's only one thing, the tree of life, and the tree of life is always standing. So, et Walter Benjamin Ya'amod leketz yamin, the tree of life, ketz yamin, the end of days. Ve'ish echad ushmo tzvi, and one man called Dear. One of Varian helpers was a person called Hirschman. Hirschman is the dear man. In Hebrew, dear is tzvi. Ve'ish echad ushmo tzvi, and one man called Dear, or Hirsch in German, she'et hageula yavi, that he will bring the salvation. But this song is also a reference to an earlier case in history that Gershom Sholem was searching, which is Shabtaut or Sabbateanism, when people believed in a false Messiah in the 17th century, 1666. You can look into it if you wish. So Tzvi has many layers in this context, the name Tzvi, because the name of the false Messiah was Shabtai Tzvi. Now another line. El hachofesh yivaldu. Into freedom they'll be born, into liberty. Leshimcha vadai yodu. To your name they surely thank. Kach amra sipra haruach. So told and said the Spirit. Bevaksha hayom lasuach. While asking today to converse. Lasuach, lasuach, to converse, from siach, conversation. But siach is not just conversation. Siach is also a bush. And here we go back to the oleander. Shara hi umefa'eret. She sings and beautifies. Meta'eret umesaperet. Describes and tell. Al oto echad shaluach. About one that was expelled from the Garden of Eden, from Europe. Shebikesh me'at lanuach. That asked to rest a little. Be'ir achat shma Nice, in one city named Nice, harduf echad menis, one oleander smuggles. Shlamei adam liya adam, peaceful humans or humans who seek peace to their destination. Mikra'ei kodesh bemoadam, those who call for holiness to dwell in their time. El hagvul ואל הגל. To the border, to the wave. אל הדרך, פורטוגל. To the road, Portugal. את ולטר בנימין יעמוד לקץ ימין. את ולטר בנימין, or calling Walter Benjamin, that he will stand as a tree of life. ואיש אחד ושמו צבי, and one man called dear, שאת הגאולה יביא, that he will bring the salvation, because Tzvi is also a deer, and the deer always goes forwards. If he looks back, it's only for a single second, but he always runs forwards to the next moment, to the next life, to the next breath. אל החופש ייוולדו. They will born into freedom. They will born into liberty. לשמך ודאי יודו. To your name they surely thank. כך אמרה, סיפרה הרוח. So said and told the spirit. בבקשה היום לסוח. While asking today to converse. שרה היא ומפארת. She sings and prays. מתארת ומספרת. Describes and tells על אותו אחד שלוח, about one man who is sent from the Garden of Eden or from Europe or from somewhere, שמבקש מעט לנוח, that asks to rest a little. I would like to thank all of you for your attention and your listening, and thank you, Felipe, for encouraging me. תודה and shalom. Thank you for listening to Bible Stories as Blueprints of the Soul, your Biblical Hebrew podcast. For more information, articles, videos, and interactive classes, please visit hebrew.learnoutlive.com or join our YouTube channel. Shalom v'chol tov.